A/B testing SEO titles for B2B traffic, a data-driven guide. Why B2B SEO titles are a revenue lever, not a copy tweak. SEO titles are the billboards of your B2B brand on Google. If the title doesn't win the click, your product page, case study, or pricing page might as well not exist. In a world where buying committees research independently, the title tag is often your first and only shot to earn consideration before a prospect ever talks to an SDR or answers a call. That matters because B2B discovery is increasingly digital. Multiple studies cited in the industry suggest roughly 67% of the B2B buyer's journey happens online, and that about 71% of B2B researchers start with a generic, problem-focused search rather than a brand query. When buyers are searching for outcomes, cost reduction, efficiency, risk reduction, a bland title tag leaves you invisible at the exact moment they're building their shortlist. The upside is that SEO title optimization is one of the fastest ways to grow qualified traffic without creating new content. In practice, teams see meaningful lifts from controlled title tests, often in the 10 to 22% range for organic clicks, because you're improving performance on pages that already have demand and rankings. What makes a good SEO title in B2B, and why CTR compounds? In B2B, your SEO title isn't a place to stuff keywords, it's a promise. The best titles sound like something a real decision maker would say out loud, leading with the problem, outcome, or proof buyers care about, while still weaving in the primary keyword naturally so you preserve relevance and rankings. Click-through rate is the lever that compounds. Backlinko's CTR research highlights how position and presentation affect outcomes, including an average CTR of 27.6% for the number one organic result and an estimated 2.8% CTR gain for moving up one position. Even when rankings hold steady, improving the title can convert existing impressions into incremental clicks, often the cheapest growth you'll ever buy. Those incremental clicks matter more in B2B because one additional qualified opportunity can justify months of SEO work. But we don't treat CTR as the finish line. CTR is a leading indicator, while demos, trials, and qualified opportunities are lagging indicators, and your testing program should measure both so you don't optimize for curiosity traffic. How SEO title A/B testing works in the real world. True split testing in SEO is possible, but most B2B teams get most of the value from a disciplined, time-based approach using Google Search Console. The core idea is simple. Pick a page with stable demand, change only the title tag, let the variant run long enough to collect meaningful clicks, and then compare performance against the prior baseline window. If you have the scale, platforms like SearchPilot can run more rigorous split group experiments across sets of similar URLs, but you don't need that to start learning quickly. The bigger requirement is operational discipline, a backlog of high-impression pages, clear hypotheses, consistent time windows, and a rule that you don't thrash titles every week. To make the mechanics concrete, here's how we typically frame the options and what you gain or trade off with each approach. A practical workflow. Find winners fast without breaking attribution. Start where impressions are high and CTR is low. In Google Search Console, pull the last 28 to 90 days, filter by pages, sort by impressions, and then identify URLs with below-average CTR for their average position. Those pages already have demand. You're just failing to win the click, so they're the lowest-risk candidates for fast gains. Next, write 2 to 3 title hypotheses per page and keep the changes single variable. Backlinko's analysis suggests titles in the 40 to 60 character range can deliver roughly 33.3% higher CTR than titles outside that range, and positive wording has been associated with about a 4% absolute CTR lift. Use those as guardrails, but anchor every hypothesis in buyer intent. Outcome, proof, or specificity beats vague cleverness in a committee-driven sale. Finally, time box the test and log everything. Run each variant for 2 to 6 weeks, or until you reach a minimum click threshold. Record start-end dates, impressions, clicks, CTR, and average position, and tag the page in analytics so you can see downstream impact on demo requests or contact submissions. This is where teams often go wrong. If you change the title, meta description, H1, and on-page copy at the same time, you won't know what caused the lift. So keep everything constant except the title. Treat your SEO title like an ad headline. Test one angle at a time, measure clicks as the leading signal, and judge success by pipeline, not applause. Patterns that consistently win clicks in B2B search. Across published case studies, the wins often come from small words with big intent. SearchPilot has shown that adding a strong modifier like the best can drive roughly 10 to 11% organic traffic uplift in certain contexts, while TrustRadius reported around 22% click growth after rolling out high-intent modifiers like best and top on category pages. The lesson isn't that every title needs best, it's that clarity about search intent beats neutral labeling. For B2B, specificity is the safest form of persuasion. Naming the ICP, the use case, or the constraint for SaaS RevOps for IT leaders under 30 days tends to improve relevance without resorting to B2C-style clickbait. Numbers can help when they're real and defensible, and proof signals, case studies, benchmarks, templates, examples often pull in high-intent buyers who want to implement, not browse. When we run title tests for pages tied to outbound programs, think cold email agency service pages, SDR agency comparisons, or sales outsourcing explainers, we avoid vague hype and write titles the way a buyer would brief their team internally. That same language frequently becomes our best outbound hooks later, because if it earns the click in search, it often earns the open in email and the first keep going on a call. Common mistakes that waste months and how to avoid them. The most expensive mistake is chasing CTR without watching lead quality. A title that overpromises can spike clicks while quietly lowering demo rate, wasting SDR cycles and creating noise in your pipeline. The fix is simple. Pair Search Console metrics, CTR, clicks, with on-page conversion and opportunity creation metrics, and only crown winners that hold conversion rate steady or improve it. Another common trap is testing on pages with too little traffic to ever reach confidence. If a URL gets a handful of impressions per day, you'll end up debating random fluctuations. Prioritize commercial pages, product, pricing, comparison, case studies, where impressions are already substantial so you can reach meaningful sample sizes in the typical 2 to 6 week window. Finally, don't ignore how Google rewrites titles. If Google frequently swaps your title tag in the live SERP, your variant may never display, invalidating the experiment. Check the live results for core queries, compare what's showing to what you set, and if rewrites are common, simplify and align the title more closely with on-page headings and the query's intent rather than trying to outsmart the algorithm. Turning SEO title wins into outbound wins, where most teams miss the multiplier. A title testing program shouldn't live in a marketing silo. The winning angles, pain framing, proof points, or best for X positioning are high-signal phrases you can deploy across outbound, email subject lines, LinkedIn opening lines, and call openers. This is especially powerful for teams running an outbound sales agency motion or coordinating an outsourced sales team, because consistent messaging increases recognition and reduces friction when prospects move between channels. In our world at SalesHive, we've seen the flywheel. Organic titles that lift clicks also tend to sharpen what works in cold outreach. When an SEO title variant proves that risk reduction beats growth hacks for a given ICP, that insight belongs in your cold calling services scripts, your SDR talk tracks, and your nurture emails, not just in metadata. It's one of the cleanest ways to keep inbound and outbound aligned without endless internal debate. To protect quality as you scale, tie every test to downstream outcomes. If a title variant increases clicks but reduces demo conversion, treat it as a failed hypothesis, even if it won in CTR. For B2B sales agency and sales development agency teams, the KPI that matters is qualified opportunity creation, not raw sessions. Make it an always-on program, cadence, governance, and next steps. The teams that win don't do one heroic test. They operationalize a simple playbook. Define how you select pages, high impressions, low CTR, how you write hypotheses, one variable, buyer-led, how you measure, GSC plus analytics, and how you decide winners, CTR up, conversions stable or up. With that in place, anyone across growth, content, or revenue can propose and ship tests without reinventing the process. A practical cadence is to keep 5 to 15 URLs under active testing at any time, focusing first on your highest value commercial pages. Over time, you can batch tests by page type, all solution pages, all comparisons, and run a quarterly retrospective to document what patterns worked best, numbers, ICP naming, proof, urgency, and what didn't. That documentation becomes a compounding asset. Every new page starts with stronger titles from day one. If you want a clean starting point, pick 10 to 20 pages, draft 2 to 3 variants each, run the first wave for 28 to 42 days, and commit to making decisions based on data, not preferences. Then reuse the winners everywhere: SEO, ads, nurture, and outbound. Whether you run it in-house or partner with a cold calling agency or cold email agency to scale conversations once the right traffic starts arriving.